Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my declutter series. So this is obviously a pre-recorded intro. It has been for the entire series. I don't know what video this even is. Let's be real. So last time I did my declutter series, which if you haven't seen, I will link my entire declutter playlist right up here for you guys to go ahead, check those out, see what I purged last time around, and if I did just as well this time. Some places I did and some I didn't. So take your bets down below. What area did I fail at, decluttering? Please do not leave me comments down below asking if I can send you specific items that were decluttered. I have either done one of the following three things. If it is brand new or only slightly touched, it either was sent for donation or put in a future giveaway pile, because I do plan on doing another giveaway when I reach 500 subscribers, or it was given to friends and family who had expressed interest in getting to use the product. So without further ado, let's jump into the declutter, shall we? Okay guys, so today we are decluttering some eyeshadow palettes, as you can probably see. I've got palettes that go all the way to this is the furthest stack over here to this guy right here. So since I'm moving, I'm trying to declutter. I think at this point I might just be doing, I don't know, the whole week that I'm moving, I might just have the declutter videos going up. I'm not sure at this point, but I thought I would go ahead and try and declutter some palettes again. So let's start with this guy, because I know I'm not getting rid of him. This is the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. I just featured this in a recent tutorial, my yellow eye tutorial. But yeah, I love this palette and I love using it. I don't use it a lot on camera, but I do use it off camera quite a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to him. I'm keeping all four of the Dose of Colors palettes. I have the Marvelous Mauves, Blushing Berries, Sassy Siennas, and Baked Browns. Keeping all of these. I love these. They're amazing. Some of my favorite matte shadow palettes. Where to begin? Let's start with this stack right here. So the first thing I have on top here is the Decay, the Free Matic Eyeshadow Pro Palette Nude Eye Finish. This is something I got in a boxy charm or something like that. As beautiful as this highlight is, because I've used the highlight and it is nice, I just don't reach for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put this into a giveaway for you guys, because literally the only thing I've done has been to swatch the highlight. Nothing else has been touched in here, so I'm gonna save this for a giveaway for you guys, just because I don't see myself reaching for it. Next, I have the Persona Identity palette, which is now available at Ulta. I recently had this in a first impressions video, so I'm gonna keep this, keep using it. I think by the time my next declutter in the fall rolls around, because I'm going to try and declutter every 6 months if I can, I'm going to go ahead and just pass on it then. But for now, I think I will keep him, unless I decide at the end of this, he's going to go in the maybe pile for now. At the end of the video, I'll decide if I still want to keep him. Next, I have 4 ColourPop palettes. I have the Cute AF palette, which I'm definitely keeping because I love this palette. I am also keeping, for sure, the Kathleen Lights ColourPop Dream Street palette. This is one of my favorite palettes from ColourPop right now. The I Think I Love You palette. I tried. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass it on. And then the Femme Rosa Carouche palette. Again, same thing. It's pretty, but I just don't reach for it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on this. Doing pretty good. Next, let's do some Lorac palettes. I have the Lorac Gold, Unzipped Gold palette. I love this palette. I am keeping him for sure. These guys, I do like these. There's the Unzipped Mountain Sunset palette, the Unzipped Desert Sunset, which looks like that, and then the Unzipped Ocean Sunset. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the Ocean Sunset palette, and I think I'm definitely gonna get rid of the Desert Sunset, and I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile for now, the Mountain Sunset. I like it, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it right now. Next, I have the Pure Cosmetics Soiree Diaries palette. I believe this was in my last declutter video, and I said by the next time I decluttered, if I hadn't used or liked it, I would pass on it. So I am gonna go ahead and pass on it for now. Yeah, I just not really feeling him, so I'll just go ahead and get rid of him. I've got plenty of neutral palettes. Next, I have both of the Huda Beauty palettes. I have the Rose Gold palette and I have the Desert Dusk palette. I think for now I'm going to keep both of them. I do use them occasionally. I don't use them like 24/7, but they are beautiful. So I think for now I'm just going to keep them both. Next, I have the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy eyeshadow palette in The Girls. I am keeping this. I love this palette. It's been well used, especially the shade Sue's right up here. Keeping that since it was limited edition and you can't get it anymore. This I recently did in a full face first impressions. I will link it up here if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because it was actually awful no matter what eyeshadow primer I tried this with. It's not on par with the original formula of the Wet n Wild shadows, and I hope that they fix that in the future, but this is just goodbye. Next, I have here the Too Faced I'm gonna drop it. The Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I'm definitely keeping this. I love this palette. It's amazing, actually. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but let me tell you, this shade right here, Peach Sangria, just speaks to me all the time. Such a weird thing to say. The Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, I've been reaching for a lot lately, so I'm definitely gonna keep a hold on this guy because I like using him in the spring especially, so he's staying. The LA Girl Neons palette, you know, I got this, and I never got around to using it, and I just never have a desire to reach for this because I have a lot of these shades in single shadows, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass. The Queen of Hearts Colored Rain palette, I'm going to go ahead and keep this guy. I do love this. Yeah, I actually really want to try out some of the newer Colored Rain palettes as well, but this guy I'm gonna keep him. Jesus, not get rid of him. The Kylie Jenner, what is this? The Peach palette. I haven't even used this. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I don't reach for it. I never want to reach for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass on him. The Dose of Colors Eyes Cream palette. I am keeping this. I think this is adorable and gorgeous, especially for spring, so he's staying. The Lorac Pro 3 palette. I actually got rid of my Pro 1 palette, so I'm gonna keep the Pro 3 palette. And you know what? Since I'm keeping that Pro 3 palette, I'm officially gonna take the Mountain Sunset palette and put him in the goodbye pile. There we go. Making decisions. The BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I'm going to keep this. I actually really love this palette, and it's definitely gonna be useful for weird eye tutorials and stuff, so keeping him. The Lorac Pro 3 and 4 palettes, I do like these both. I especially love some of the deeper colors in this guy, so I'm keeping him. And then this guy is just such a great giant neutral travel palette. I'm going to keep him as well. Next, I have the Tarteist Pro palette. I do love this palette, but here's the thing. I legit have not reached for this since the last declutter video. Not once, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of him. It's a beautiful palette, but I just don't reach for it and I don't have the space right now. These NYX eyeshadow palettes over here, these are some of the Elements palettes. So I have, Fire, I have Wind, I have, oh my God, I don't have nails, Water, and I have Earth. I think I'm going to get rid of the Earth palette. I'm going to keep the Fire palette. And I'm only going to keep one of these. I think I'm going to keep this guy. So I'm going to get rid of the Wind and I'm going to keep Water. Cutting things in half, guys. I can do this. The Milani palettes that I literally just had a first impression that I filmed a couple weeks back. Link it up here for you guys. For now, I'm gonna keep both of these since I'm still trying them out. But for right now, I'm definitely preferring the Most Love Mattes over the Bold Obsessions palette personally. So in the future, this will probably be the one I get rid of, but for now, I will keep both of them since I'm running out of drugstore palettes now. Next, I have the Kylie Purple palette, which can be totally shattered. I've used this a couple of times. I'm gonna hold on to it because I have used it and I can't make up my mind if I like it or not, so it's staying for now. Next, I have the Winky Lux Kitten palette. As much as I want to keep this because it's a kitten palette, I just don't use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Next, I have two of the Makeup Forever palettes. This guy I am not gonna part with. It's one of my Holy Grail eyeshadow palettes. This is the Artist Shadows 1 palette. Keeping him. It was my first gratis item at Sephora and I love this guy. And then this one is the Artist Shadow 4 palette. I'm gonna keep this one as well because this is a really nice matte shadow palette as well. Next, the Pure Cosmetics My Little Pony Movie palette. I haven't really used. I want to keep him. I want to keep him, but I legit haven't reached for him. I'm just gonna get rid of him. However, this I've been using a little bit lately. This is the Sigma Creme de Couture Pressed Color Palette. This I'm going to keep. It's very beautiful. We're getting to the hard stuff now, guys. So, Too Faced palettes. The Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. While it's beautiful and it's pretty and it's just gorgeous to look at, I don't really reach for it, but I don't want to get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of it. My Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, I am not getting rid of. I love this guy. The Clover palette. I do like the Clover palette. I'm gonna keep him. And these guys are just beat up OG guys. I can't get rid of them. The Semi-Sweet and the Chocolate Bar palette. I love these. These are some of my original palettes I ever owned. Keeping those. Okay. Urban Decay. I have the Naked palette, which let me lay them all out. So I got Naked palette, the Naked 3 palette, and the Naked Heat palette. I'm gonna get rid of the Naked Heat palette. And I'm definitely keeping the Naked 3 palette because it was the first high-end palette I ever bought. I got it as a birthday gift ages ago, so I'm keeping him. Naked palette. I want to keep him. I don't know. I'm on the fence. He's going in the maybe pile. I might get rid of him. The Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I have the Subculture palette, the Prism palette, Soft Glam, and Modern Renaissance, which I'm obviously keeping. The Soft Glam, I'm still kind of playing with. I haven't fully made up my mind, so I'm gonna keep him. I actually like my Subculture palette. I don't have issues with like everyone else does, so I'm gonna keep him. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Prism palette. I like it and I've used it, but I'm gonna pass on him. Ooh, this is so hard to do. What next, what next? Ooh, let's do some Violet Voss palettes. I've got a couple of those. I have the Violet Voss Nicola Concilio palette. I am going to keep this for now because I really like it. The HG, the Holy Grail Pro palette. I like it. I just feel like I don't really use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this guy. And then the Matte About You palette I am going to keep because again, it's a great neutral palette to have. So keeping 2, getting rid of 1, that's doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good, actually, to be honest. I'm not doing that bad, guys. This Hard Candy palette, I am on the fence about. I didn't hate it, but I don't love it. But you know what? I think I'm gonna get rid of him. I just don't reach for it. I'm gonna put all the Juvia's Place palettes together in a stack over here. Okay, the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. This is very nice, it's very pretty. I've kept it, but I'm gonna officially part with it because I'm still going to keep the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette because I love this and I still reach for this off camera a bit, so this guy will stay. Plus, you know, he's limited edition, he's got the adorable packaging. I can't quite get rid of him yet. The Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition palette. I haven't really used this guy, but I keep meaning to because it is an affordable shadow palette, and at this point, I don't know if I can really be affording to get rid of any more, so for now, I'm gonna keep him. The Sephora Pro palettes, I am keeping these suckers. I have the Editorial palette, which is gorgeous, beautiful. I have the Warm palette, which is again beautiful. And I do also have the Cool Toned palette. I've used the Cool Tone palette the most actually of the three of them. So for now I'm gonna keep all three. BH Cosmetics. I'm going to keep the Club Tropicana and I'm gonna get rid of this. Actually, I don't know, I really love that blue in here. No, I'm gonna keep both of these. That was very indecisive of me, oops. I have 3 Morphe palettes. I have this one, which I just got at Christmas. This is the 35B. Yep, 35B. I think I'm gonna keep this guy for sure. I like him a lot. And I don't know, the 35O Matte and the 35O Shimmer. I'm gonna get rid of both. I just don't reach for them anymore, and you know, if I'm gonna keep a Morphe palette, I'd rather keep the colorful one than these. Okay guys, this is gonna be hard. I don't know if I can get rid of any of these. Okay, so let's start with the big guys. So the Magic by Juvia's Place palette, I am keeping this. It's beautiful. Same with the Masquerade palette. I love this guy as well. The Nubian by Juvia's Place, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass on this. The Saharan by Juvia's Place, I want to keep for now. The Nubian 2 palette, I might have to open all these ones and lay them out. Zulu I know I'm keeping because it's just beautiful to look at. The Douce or Duce, I'm not sure, palette I really love as well, so I'm gonna keep that. The Saharan 2, I've really done some damage, so I'm gonna hold on to this guy. The Festival palette's brand new and I'm still playing around with him, so I'm keeping him. The question is, since I'm keeping both of these, that's the Magic and the Masquerade, I'm gonna get rid of both of these, actually. This is the Saharan and or the Nubian 2. Whew. That's all the eyeshadow palettes. I'm very proud of myself right now. Whoop, whoop. So I am, oh, I've got the 2 maybes. Oof. Naked palette, Persona palette. You know what? I'm gonna keep the Persona palette. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Naked palette. Okay, that hurts. That hurt. I had to do it though. Had to do it. I wasn't reaching for it. Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Whew. I am getting rid of 25 palettes. I am keeping 53 palettes and I'm getting rid of 26. Considering I started with 79, that's pretty good. 53 and 26, 79. You know, I did about a third of it, which, you know, I was kind of hoping to do a fourth, so I'm pretty proud of myself that I did a third of those. Holy crap. Actually, let's calculate that exact percentage, shall we? 6 divided by 79 is 33%. I got rid of 33% of my eyeshadow palettes. I'm quite proud of myself, actually. Plus, these will now hopefully fit in one drawer. Maybe, probably not. So yeah, that is it for these palettes. I'll probably do my face palettes next, but who knows? Thanks for watching, guys.